to the computer. All right, guys. So as we've announced, we're going to start doing group classes inside CrossFit Banshee, inside the gym, starting tomorrow. There's going to be, we're under some restrictions though. So it won't be exactly the same way it was before we closed for COVID. There's going to be some changes. Some of those may last longer than just near term. Some of them may last for a while. But right now, per the state of Colorado, we are able to do group classes of 25% capacity, which if we're looking at fire code is a lot of freaking people. So the important thing that we're doing is we are social distancing inside the gym. Hi, Heather. So what you guys will notice when you come into the gym, there's going to be boxes on the floor. And I don't mean jump boxes. I mean outlines. 8 foot by 8 foot squares. And when you come into the gym, you'll come in wearing a mask or face covering. The coach will be there, ask you, hey, do you have any COVID symptoms? Cough, nausea, fever, shortness of breath, sore throat, those things. And then take your temperature. Once that's done, they'll say, hey, go to this station. I've set up your weights. Which is good for John to know because he'll have to set up those weights. So you go to your station. Any of the equipment that you need, including your own personal equipment, should remain at that station. So if you have a gym bag, if you have Olympic weightlifting shoes, if you have knee sleeves, your face mask, any of that type of stuff, you should take with you to your station,
your box,
to your outline box, and you should leave all of your personal belongings and your equipment that you're going to use in the workout there at that box, in that box. Hi, Helena.
Hi, Steve.
So, we're going to do most of everything inside those little stations. It's not only to protect and remind you as the athlete to social distance from other people, but it's also in place because us coaches should not encourage upon you either. We need to social distance from you as well. So that means we're going to be a lot less tactile cue than I prefer, but it's the life we have to live at the moment. So there's walkways between them. So on the days that we program pull-ups, you will have an assigned pull-up station also. You'll walk to your pull-up station in the walkways, not through David's station. Don't walk over David. That's not nice, right? You'll do your pull-ups and go back to your station to complete whatever the rest of the workout is. It's a little unfortunate. It's not quite as fun as it usually is. It's not quite as interactive, but it is us getting back into group classes again. So please bear with us as we try to make it as fun and great of a workout and community workout as we possibly can inside the realm of what we're allowed to do. One thing that I did note in the state regulations is we need to wear our masks. We're in those common areas. So when you're coming in and checking in with the coach, please wear a face mask. You're going to be within 6 feet of a coach. We would rather them not get sick and then make everybody else sick. But once you get to your workout area, once you go to your box that you're working out in, you're welcome to take your face mask off. You will be distanced far enough from each other that it should not be an issue. Plus, there is some safety issues with you passing out with a mask on. So I think I can justify that.
Ventilation.
And we did see, the state did say that they reversed their original order. Fans are now required in that. I'm sorry. I know you hate fans. We're going to have all the fans now.
many fans as possible.
So we want to get as much ventilation through there as possible. So we're going to have doors open, fans on, and just try to get the air flowing through. Every class that we have inside the gym, we will also be simulcasting, which is a fun word, via Zoom. So if you're not comfortable going into a group workout, or you're just running behind and you're lucky enough to get home to cook dinner for the kids, you can still join a Zoom session also. Now, there's a couple other things that the state has said that we have to do. We have to reserve, right? We're going to set up a station for you, so we need to know who's coming to class. So you have to reserve through Zen Planner before you come to class. I've moved the deadline for that to 3 hours before the class starts. So I want to make sure everybody is 100% comfortable getting into Zen Planner and reserving a spot in class. It's going to be pivotal. It's going to be extremely important that we know who's going to be there so we can set up the station. And it's also one of those things that the state has said needs to happen so that we can make sure we contact trace amongst each other. That way, if David gets sick, everybody in David's class, we can contact and say, hey, this has been the exposure. This is what's happening. We can get ahead of things. And the other piece that we're going to start moving towards, and this actually has nothing to do with COVID. It's actually to do with we're leading group classes, is we're going to start moving the minimum people in a class to 3, right? And that is to keep the integrity of a group system. Otherwise, we're really moving into a personal training realm. Plus that also any less than 3 people, and honestly, the gym is not making any money at that point. So we're going to try to make it so that we start getting 3 people in a class.
Not only not making money, it's just not covering.
Right. Yeah, we can't even cover expenses for the class. So we want to start growing this. The way we'll start putting more classes on the schedule is when those classes start really filling up. When we start needing the classes and things are well attended, we'll start putting more things on the schedule and growing it naturally that way. Cool. I talked for like 12 minutes straight. I think I need to make sure anybody have any questions. I just spewed a fire hose worth of crap at you guys. Does anybody have anything?
Are you guys keeping the same class times as
Great
before?
question. Let me share the schedule. And yes, it's generally the same class times.
With
But we're paring it down. So this is the schedule inside the Zen Planner. I'm going to show next week, but you can see what we have scheduled this week. Starting Wednesday, 6 a.m. There's no 9:30 on Wednesday, and we go to a 4:30 class. On Thursday, we're doing a 9:30 a.m. only and a 6:30 class. So it's a little bit pared down, but we have generally all of the time slots covered. I'll show next week so we can see a full kind of week schedule. So you see, generally we try to have 3 boxes in each time slot for the week, except for David, who was the only one who showed up at the 5:30.
And John.
What's that?
John showed up at 5:32, so.
What? You guys don't count?
now we're Sixers.
Yeah. So, like I said, this is just the initial proposal. If we start filling up these classes, or, I really get feedback that, man, this is great. I really just need a X class. And we have 5 or 6 people saying that, we'll start throwing it on the schedule and see how it works. But for the near term, this gives us time to clean up after classes, gives us time to do the things that we need to do. The only concern I have on this is that Friday block where we do have 2 classes back to back. that means we have to have time in between there to wipe everything down well. So the workouts have to include wiping everything down, which will be required anyway, but just making sure we do it well.
Plus, we have a plan to offset not having as many classes on the schedule.
Right. So this is phase A. This is just this next phase. I want to make sure everybody's up to speed on this before we started going too far into phase B. Are there any questions on the schedule? Naomi, did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. I do have another question.
Sure.
What's like the maximum number of people you can have per class?
9. We have 9 total workout stations inside the gym, socially distanced properly. So we will have a hard cap at 9. We can't go over 9. However, we do not have a cap on the Zoom classes. So if everybody's reserving like they should, and you see that, you know, a class is completely filled up, say you're a 430 athlete, there's always still the option to log into Zoom. So we will still be allowing that.
And we can log in on Zoom whenever. We don't have to reserve, or we still have to reserve for Zoom?
Ideally, you would reserve, but it's not as required. There's no contact tracing that we have to do there.
No setting up.
There's no setting up stations. That's really going to be on you guys.
How about if we want to still work out from home, but still want coaching?
So the Zoom class is that. Are you looking for the, what's that?
Are you going to be having Zoom classes the same time you have regular class, or is that going to be at a different time?
Absolutely the same time. So if you look at the schedule, like the 6 a.m., I have the group class on Monday morning, has 9 people in it. Then we have virtual CrossFit, up to 99 people can be logged into there. So we will treat the computer just like we would another athlete in the class. So we'll walk over, watch everybody work out. Everybody gets to do the movements so that you can do either or.
Got it.
So there's going to be one other restriction with this. When you guys come into a class, I generally want you guys to pick one of the time slots. Like, let's say you're a 6 a.m.er. Try to just show up. Try to just reserve and go to the 6 a.m. classes initially for now. Short term. And the reason being is that contact. If one person in the 6 a.m. class gets sick and the only people that they've had contact with is the 6 a.m. class, then the exposure to the entire facility is less. Now, let's say David jumps into all of the classes and ends up being sick. Then we've exposed potentially the entire gym membership to this new disease. Until we kind of get a better feel, which I think we have a pretty decent feel that this is starting to calm down a little. But until we're really in the clear, I'd like to try to keep it to as minimal class jumping slots as possible. That doesn't preclude you from jumping into any class on Zoom. Any class is available at home. If, you know, for some reason your schedule has changed and the 6:30 class isn't one you can jump in on, but you can jump into a 4:30 class, great, let's do a Zoom class then. I don't want to preclude you guys from working out, but I just don't want to have one person potentially infecting everybody at the gym, at least initially.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah.
quick question. Can you scroll down? So are you still, so you won't be having like the 4:30 virtuals every day, correct?
No, we're going to do those 3 days a week.
Okay.
Something that I'm going to play with though, Heather, is this is kind of a dry run for it, is we're going to try to get more comfortable with recording so that you might be, we want to be able to offer it up so that people can do it anytime, right? It may not be ideal. I may not be talking to you personally, but you would get the feel of, hey, it's time to warm up now. This is what we're going to do for warm up. This is how we're going to stretch. And we'd be leading you through a class, just not real time. you wouldn't be getting the real-time coaching feedback, but you
Sure.
would be able to do it.
So, yeah, but so if you wanted to still work out 5 days a week during the
At
week,
4:30.
you can still do it, right?
That's the goal.
Okay,
And you can jump into any class online. And the goal will be that we can offer that other option kind of 24/7, right? You could
Sure.
go do Monday's workout on Friday because it's kind of it's recorded.
sure, perfect, okay. Thanks.
Is our goal. We're going to be a little bit rough on that one. That one's a new process for us, so be patient with that one. But it will be kind of fun because we will be live streaming an actual class from the gym, which will be a little bit more energy.
And when do these changes take place? Next week?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have 2 classes. Tomorrow we have a 6 a.m. and a 4:30 p.m. So I will be there at 6 a.m. leading a class. If you guys want to be in on that class, please do go into Zen Planner and Reserve. I would love to see you there. And we'll do this for the first time. We'll see how well it works. I'm going to stop sharing now. Anybody else have any questions on JP? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah, it shouldn't be anything new for you. I think I've shared this all with you a few times.
Yeah.
So
I have
there's also a blog with that.
Never mind. I'll ask you later.
Okay. There's also a blog post out there that kind of walks through this in text form so that you guys don't have to come away from this remembering everything. It actually has a picture of the schedule in it, all of the requirements that we just talked about. This is phase A. Are there any other questions on what we're doing starting tomorrow? Fantastic. So then we start getting into a little bit farther down the road, right? You guys have seen our thoughts on some of the stuff that CrossFit HQ has put out there, right? We're not necessarily a big fan of the message that the CEO had put out there. Associated with Black Lives Matter, associated with COVID. There were a whole slew of things that have happened with CrossFit HQ's CEO. The message that he was essentially putting out there was it doesn't match with our values. So if you guys noticed, we have actually denounced that message, and that's not something we support. Along those lines, you guys will see some other changes from us. These are changes that we were planning to make anyway. We are not solely a CrossFit. We do a lot more than CrossFit. We do a lot of nutrition, personal training, a lot of other specialty stuff. So even before all of this came out, we were going to start making changes and starting to present ourselves in a different way. We won't just be CrossFit Banshee going forward. So you guys will see that. You noticed our group changed to LMI Fitness. That's generally what we're going to present going forward, is this LMI Fitness idea. And the first step of that, name is part of it. We're still narrowing in on those pieces. But the first part of that is we're working on getting an agreement so that we can offer kind of more of an open gym environment as well. I've noticed for me during this quarantine time that while I love doing CrossFit, it's not the only thing that works. It's not the only thing that works really well. I like doing a little bit more barbell work. I like doing some strength work. I've been doing a lot more cardiovascular, monostructural type of work to help support me. That isn't necessarily a CrossFit workout, right? I'm not doing it for time. I'm really just training.
We would refer to it as accessory work.
Accessory work, or in my case, I mean, it's really just I'm trying to get a different stimulus than what 2159 Fran would give me. So I want to start giving that kind of experience to everybody else as well. So we're working with a company I don't know how long that will take, but the goal is to start offering kind of an open gym ability almost 24/7, right? It would be something where you could reserve a time. It could be anytime we're not having a class. You would walk up to the door, use their app, this hybrid AF app, say, hey, I'm at the door, unlock it. It would unlock, you could go in and do your workout. So that's going to be phase B of what we're going to offer, right? It most likely will be a little bit extra because this isn't something I can get for free either, but it's something that I think is extremely valuable if, you know, your class time isn't available or your schedule is different. You're just not able to come into a class. You're still able to come in and do something for training. It also allows you to do things that aren't just CrossFit. Maybe David really wants to go squat more often and thinks, man, these CrossFit workouts just don't have enough back squats in them. I'm pretty sure John is shaking his head slightly on that one. He really wants to see more back squats. This is an opportunity to change that, right? Not everybody wants to see that, but maybe this is something that would work for you. So that's kind of the phase B of where we're going with this. That one is still a few weeks out. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions on kind of the two things that I mentioned, the backlash from CrossFit HQ or this kind of new offering that we have potentially coming down the road?
Plus this new offering, it allows for anybody who's getting a little bit more personalized training to have a place to execute their homework.
Right.
Place and a time to execute homework without being like, I'm in the way, or I'm taking resources, or I don't have any resources for me, or whatever it might be. So just a little bit more of that focused time for you.
Any questions on either of those two items? Our potential, we'll call it, we're going to put out a different face. Same training's going to happen. Kind of any of the messages associated with CrossFit CEO or this new offering. Anybody have any questions about any of those things? I feel like
Glassman resigned.
Greg Glassman did resign. The director of the CrossFit Games, Dave Castro, has moved into the role of CEO. I'm still holding kind of a little bit of judgment on how they move forward. I want to know what is important to me is the message that Greg Glassman put out there pervasive across the entire structure of CrossFit management and HQ? Or was it one man speaking his mind and his opinion only? And it's important for me to know which of those two pieces it was. So I know for me personally, I'm still kind of holding my judgment. I've already kind of made my judgment about Mr. Greg Glassman. I think he is a brilliant man, but very troubled. This isn't the first time I've said that. This is just the last in a very long line of many outraged people that this is just the biggest that he's done. So I think it's a good move, but I'm going to hold judgment until I see what the stance of CrossFit HQ is going forward. Any other thoughts? I see some kind of head nods of, yeah, maybe, but he's still an asshole. That's true. I am pretty sure even he would say that he's an asshole. But he's insensitive as heck, and I think that is not acceptable at this moment in time. David, shaking your head? Good?
Yep. Can I still wear my CrossFit t-shirts in the gym? Does it say CrossFit on it, or do I have to burn those, or what's going on?
Well, if you're a true CrossFitter, you're not allowed to wear a shirt in the gym.
Okay.
I mean, if you follow Make WODs Great Again on Instagram, you'd know that. I know Tristan had a thought. I mean, you chimed in on the group. T, did you want to share that with everybody else? No? Go read Tristan's thoughts on the LMI fitness group. It was actually pretty profound for Tristan. no, it was good feedback. I appreciate it, Tristan. I really do. So, I mean, this is a very sensitive subject as far as CrossFit HQ thing. I have no problem talking about, we want to be more inclusive. We want more of that. I do understand that CrossFit does have a diversity issue. So if any of you guys have really brilliant ideas of how to help that, I'm all ears. Talk to me one-on-one. Shoot me a direct message on Facebook, whatever.
Any ideas? You don't even have to be brilliant. It's nice to have an idea.
Right. An idea. But there is a diversity issue in CrossFit in general. So if you guys have thoughts on it that you just want to share with somebody that owns a gym, I'm happy to hear them. That's what this is about. We need to hear, and then we need to take some action. So, but it all starts with an idea. Any questions on the kind of open gym concept?
Is that something that any of you would be interested in using?
What's the cost?
We're still kind of determining, but I think for people who have a CrossFit membership, I'm looking at about $20-25 a month.
In fact, we probably won't, at least initially, put it out there without having a CrossFit.
Right. Initially, it will just be open to you guys. So it'll be pretty exclusive. It's not gonna be like going to 24-hour fitness where you wonder if you can get on the bench press machine on a Monday. And it's not a machine, it's just a bench. Right? International Chest Day is Monday. You can't find a bench at 24-hour fitness on any Monday. John, did you know that International Chest Day was Monday? Never mind.
Yeah, I just never participated.
Oh, okay. You never celebrated International Chest Day. It's terrible.
Plus, there will be other certain things that come along with the open gym that will, talk about those a little bit more, but it's not going to be like a free-for-all, 10 people can reserve open gym at the same time. There's going to be
some limitations, especially initially. It's going to be very similar to the way we run a class. You're going to have to sign an agreement that you're going to clean up your equipment, including wiping it down. There's going to be some things in place, and that's why we're still a few weeks out from running that, even once we get things installed. So please bear with us on that piece, but it is kind of exciting to be moving in that direction. It gives us a lot of fun things that we can do going forward.
Plus, I don't think we have many people on here, if any, right now, but we do have some shift workers that this will make a big difference for.
We heard from a few people that said, hey, I've got to work. I can't make this session right here. This is a great opportunity for them to be able to get into the gym, even on their funky schedules, right? If Annette is working 38 hours in a single day and still wants to work out, I don't think it's a good idea, Annette. But still needs to go burn some energy because it's either that or strangle a coworker. It's a great opportunity, right?
And that's for strangling the coworker.
Yeah. So that's the goal with this. It's going to open up a lot of doors for some other things. But initially, we want to make it so that you guys can either experience a workout that you may have missed, or you can come in and work on things that you either don't get enough of, or you need to strengthen to kind of overcome a weakness or something else, right? Sometimes you just need to come in and practice double unders until you're black and blue. And it's not fun to do at home.
Mostly red and malted.
Well, yeah. So that's really kind of the whole point of that but it's an extremely powerful tool. And it's one that as I was kind of in this quarantine zone and I was able to use the gym, I realized that I really enjoyed just going in there and lifting weights. I really enjoyed going in there and doing additional squats or things that I wouldn't do in a normal CrossFit class. And it's something that I think other people would enjoy also. Hi, Anna, again.
Hey again.
So any other questions? Any questions on that at all? Cool. All right, guys. Oh, I got to chat. So We're going to start tomorrow. If you guys have feedback as we're going through this, something's not working the way you think it should, you're not able to reserve, you know, you're just like, hey, I really want to make something, but I need these class times, or any of that feedback, please let me know. I know we're going to be a little bit limited initially. I do understand that. It's a little bit where we are. We want to be able to give you guys the best that we can. But as we go forward, we will continue to build and do the things that we need to do to try to make this the best program that we can for you guys. If nobody has anything, we'll call that a night, and we'll let everybody go get dinner. Hopefully you've already eaten. I haven't. Annette.
I'm not eating, I'm starving.
Time for dinner.
You
Yes.
do not want to see Annette hungry.
Yeah.
As Holly's sitting there snacking. It's okay, Holly. You need to eat. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and participating with us. Helena, Tristan, it's great to see you guys again. It's been too long. David, I would say it's been too long, but I literally just got done talking to you like 15 minutes before this started. Same with Anna and Holly. I really miss having you guys in classes. It's going to be great to see you guys in person again. There will not be any hugs from me. I apologize. Some of you probably, I should apologize when I do give hugs, but that's fine. Whatever.
Something cool to think about too. You guys are in on what we could consider a ground level right here. You know, we're rebuilding from COVID. We're rebuilding a couple things. Like, please feel like you can be part of that rebuilding in terms of like, hey, I would love to see this, or this would be awesome if we can do this. Like, let us know. Like, we get to be part of it. That's fun.
Anna, do you have a question?
Well, a lot, but later.
Okay. Feel free to reach out to us personally. If you have questions and you're just like, I don't want to bring it up in this forum, reach out to us.
I just need a calendar.
You need a calendar. It's in Zen Planner. And so we'll work with you to get you into that. For now, we will work with you and text you and let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you straightened out tomorrow. But for tomorrow, what matters is 6 a.m. and 4:30. So if you think that that's one of those, I think maybe not. But we'll.
At what time?
AM and 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, I have climb in the afternoon.
Okay, so
And then
Thursday at 9:30 would probably be the first class you'd want to go into.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Dinner time.
Cool.
Yay.
Jelly time. Naomi, did we answer all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. You were very quiet. I liked your questions. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right. Dee, I love it. Thank you, sir. And happy birthday, baby.
Yes, happy birthday.
All right, guys. That's it from us. You guys have a great rest of the evening, and we will see you later this week.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.